Eonon's new wireless CarPlay and Android Auto AI box that looks like this literally, that's all it is a wonderful little product that I'd like to review for you today. Welcome back to the channel, my friends. This is Auto Gear Reviews, the child project of Value Cars Australia. Subscribe to both channels and give the video a like while you're here. AI boxes are extremely popular. They are better than wireless CarPlay adapters. In case you're new to this topic, let me quickly explain to you the difference. Wireless CarPlay adapters are usually cheerful, and all they do is connect your phone wirelessly to your infotainment system of your car that already is expected to have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. That's all those systems do. Wireless AI boxes are similar. They are also wireless CarPlay and Android Auto in some case adapters like this one, but they go one step further, and in addition to giving you simply wireless connectivity to your infotainment screen, they also give you extra added UI that allows you to also connect typically a wireless network and therefore enable streaming of the video services on top of Android Auto, on top of Apple CarPlay. That is the typical biggest difference. Some of them go a bit further and offer you some sort of also voice command support. Some of them just give you the basics and do it really, really well. Well, Eonon A502 is an inexpensive direct competitor to other AI boxes that typically push into higher price category compared to this one. It is absolutely nothing to look at, but guess what? Once you connected it and paired your phone with it and everything is working for you, you're not going to be looking at it, my friend. It's not a head unit. Eonon, by the way, is also a creator of a wonderful P4. I am a big fan, and I think there is a room for head units if you would like to, if you don't have infotainment screen in your car, or maybe your screen is busted, or maybe you need this extended kind of wireless CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity that is not coming built in your older vehicle perhaps. That's where head units are good. But if your screen is good, but you don't want wires, and you want to also occasionally stream Netflix or stream YouTube and stuff like this, that's where these things come into play. Now, back to specifically Eonon's A502. There is only so much I can say about it because it's a basic wireless CarPlay adapter. You connect it via enclosed little cable USB to USB, USB-C to USB-A typically in your car. You pair your phone's Bluetooth with it. That will enable the basic connectivity of Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. That will show you maps, that kind of stuff. But if you also would like to use that custom UI that pops up very nicely, very quickly, it connects really nicely, really quickly. That's what impressed me about this particular unit, because some of them take a while, to connect and stuff, and they're a bit more they just feel a bit janky, but this one isn't. This one feels good. So if you want that streaming, you then would need to go through the settings, and you would need to presumably give it a hotspot on your phone, because how else would you give it a wireless network unless you're parked somewhere nearby and you can just pick up the Wi-Fi network that the system picks up while you're in the car. And that way you are able to watch YouTube, you are able to watch Netflix, that kind of stuff. I do not recommend that you watch Netflix or YouTube as you're driving the car, by no means. But as I keep saying, why these AI boxes became popular? Because people have passengers in their cars. And these passengers could be your kids, it could be your actual passengers like Uber drivers, any of those car share services and airport pickup services, you name it, right? Taxi services, essentially. So your people inside of your car, they might want to watch music videos, they might want to watch something else and other kind of stuff. So that's great. Now, if you say to me, Dimitri, but how is this different to, say, Carlo X Air? Well, first of all, it's cheaper than Carlo X Air. That is just unfortunately what it is. They all compete with each other. I'm a fan of Carlo X, but at the same time, I think that Eonon has gone one step further and given us just as good system, in my humble opinion, of limited exposure to it, but also cheaper. That's the first thing. And secondly, it also has a memory card slot, as you can see here. So if you don't feel like necessarily connecting to Wi-Fi and going through all that trouble, which, by the way, was one thing, my reservation on Carlo X, because you have to connect, if you want streaming, you have to connect to Wi-Fi, and that's that. But it's inconvenient. It's kind of inconvenient to run hotspot on your phone and that kind of stuff. But in this case, Eonon says, okay, no problems. But if you have stuff on a little memory card, put a memory card in and simply play it on the screen from it. I think that's wonderful. As simple as it is, as basic as it is, literally using it as ultimately one of those memory dongles, like I don't want to call them USB sticks because that's a very ancient term, but you know what I mean. But giving us also an offline version to provide entertainment on the screen for your people at a cheaper price than a lot of other AI boxes go. I think that's where, in my opinion, Eonon has succeeded immediately. There are instructions enclosed also in this little box that Eonon's little AI box comes with, and the instructions are fairly straightforward. It just talks to you what's what. It's not like there are any buttons on this unit. There is nothing to press or anything. The only thing that you need to be aware of is that there is a little bit of a somewhat tiny bit intimidating, but I didn't need to use it, and you probably will not need to use it. Tiny bit of intimidating instruction that basically says that by default, this box will try to connect in Apple CarPlay mode. If your infotainment screen or your phone, basically if there are any issues and you have an Android phone or only Android Auto supporting infotainment unit of your car, so CarPlay is not picked up, then basically it will look like the box is not working, okay? And the differentiation between the connectivity is here with this one of these little holes, yeah? That's where the light shows. If it's red, it means it tries to connect on Apple CarPlay. If it's blue, it means it tries to connect on Android Auto. By default, it will be red. But if somehow the box was not able to switch you into Android Auto mode, you would need to use a pin or like a little paper clip or something to basically press and hold the embedded reset button inside of that other hole. There would be a light indicator on one side. There would be a hole for that hard reset. And if you press and hold, it will change the color and it will switch from the default Apple CarPlay into the Android Auto pickup mode. That's the only thing for you to be aware of. So that's kind of one of those extra hard reset things that you may need to do if your unit is not supporting it seamlessly and the box was not able to do it by itself. For me, I was testing it in my wife's MG ZST 2021 model, not even in my Subaru Outback 2023, and it was perfectly fine. My phone is Xiaomi Redmi Note 12S, and it is an Android phone. The system picked it up immediately. There were no issues, no trouble whatsoever, so I can say that from a short exposure to this little unit, I'm actually very pleased, and I think Eonon is doing great by expanding beyond head units into a cheaper market of AI boxes, because I think there is market for both, for head units and for AI boxes. So thank you very much to Eonon for sending me this A502 box. I highly recommend it to you, especially if you're on the market for inexpensive AI boxes. Check the links in the description. As always, links in the description for discount codes, for competing products, so that you can make an educated decision. But right now, at the moment of recording of this video, yeah, things always are changing. This happens to be probably the highest value for money and currently my subjective favorite, but not the only product on the market, and they have slightly different flavors, which is why I encourage you to always do your research and take a look at what else is there before you make a call on what to buy. But thank you again to Eonon for sending me this product. Highly recommended. Check the links, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like this video so that more people can see it. Thank you, and talk to you soon again.